Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. We are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. My name is Anand Narsimhan, and ladies and gentlemen, the focus of this Monday edition of The Right Stand is going to be on the Prime Minister's interview to the News 18 Network as he spoke with our Group Editor-in-Chief, Rahul Joshi. Bharat will be witness to a candid, fiery and in-depth interview by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a short while from now. It's premiering at 9 p.m. across the network here on the News 18 network in a short while from now. From Sunday evening 6 p.m. throughout the day today, we've been playing out some excerpts of this hour-long interview where the Prime Minister has spoken on a range of issues, traversing the length and breadth of the country, multiple political aspects and issues, and of course matters that concern the political polling season ahead of Lok Sabha phase 3 polls. Phase 1 and 2 are already in the bank. The Prime Minister very candid there. We will also discuss two aspects of the Prime Minister's conversation today, one around CAA and 370 and the other around Bengal through the course of the next 45-50 minutes. But first, let us take you through here on The Right Stand some of the salient features of what we have already highlighted. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we've not played out the full interview. There's so much more which is part of that conversation that you've not seen, not heard yet. Now, first up, reiterating what the Prime Minister has been saying over the last 10 days, ever since the Congress launched its manifesto, PM Modi repeating that the Congress manifesto has a stamp of the Muslim League. Then he's taken on the Congress manifesto further and said that wealth redistribution is an urban Naxal thought. So brazen appeasement and of course this hint of Maoism and so this urban Naxal thought in the Congress manifesto, two influences which is very evident. That's his attack. And he continued to be unrelenting. He said there's no question of inheritance tax if the BJP comes to power. And he also set the record straight on the abrogation of Article 370. PM Modi challenged the Congress to declare restoring Article 370 yet again from a public platform, from a press conference. Can they even do it, he asked. In a direct response to Mamata Banerjee's no citizenship amendment in Bengal decision, PM said no chief minister can repeal the CAA at the state level. It's a parliament, it's an act ratified by parliament, both houses with an overwhelming number, and it cannot be done. It's not the federal system. Even though we have a federal system, it's not up to the state government to do so. He's also hit back at the opposition agency misuse charge and asserted that agencies are doing their job as culprits are not getting relief from courts. If the agencies were not doing their job right, why aren't they getting relief from court? Hitting out at the Karnataka government, the Prime Minister said that the people were repenting, the public in Karnataka repenting voting for the Congress in Karnataka because their guarantees, the Congress's guarantees in the state as promised in their manifesto, come with terms and conditions that apply. Hitting out at Uddhav Thackeray, PM Modi said Uddhav Thackeray has betrayed the partnership for the post of the Chief Minister for Kursi. Slamming the opposition's dynastic politics, PM Modi said that the opposition forced to field family members in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Look at Parivarwad right through the party. All posts, all candidatures are being given to party members and they're being forced to do that now because there's nobody else to fight for them. Let's move on to the subject matter today. In this edition of The Right Stand, we've debated the Congress manifesto through the Sunday edition. Through Sunday, we've spoken about some of the other facets. Let's focus on CAA and 370. Ladies and gentlemen, we here at CNN News 18, I personally was in Srinagar recently. We had the Citizens Manifesto and we also spoke to certain political voices. And somewhere the underlying narrative is, hum wapas aayenge to 370 wapas le aayenge. Is this even going to happen? And can even the Congress and the main opposition parties across the country even claim this? PM slamming the opposition for promising, one, to repeal CAA, which the Congress party via Mr. P. Chidambaram has officially said that they will do it. It's one of their 5 things that they want to do. He also challenged the Congress party to bring 370 back in J&K. Listen in.
आपने पिछले कार्यकाल में काफ़ी बड़े काम किए, आर्टिकल 370 को रद्द किया, सीएए को लेके आए, मगर ऑपोजिशन लीडर्स इस कैंपेन में सब कह रहे हैं कि अगर वो सरकार बनाएंगे तो इन सबको जो है सीएए को रिपील कर देंगे। ममता बनर्जी खास करके कह रही है सीएए को इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं होने देंगी। इसको आप कैसे देखते हैं?
पहली बात है कि जिसको भारत का संविधान समझ है, जिसको भारत के फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर का पता है, किसके पास कौन काम है वो सब पता है, वो कभी ऐसी बात बोलेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि ये उनके अधिकार क्षेत्र का विषय ही नहीं है जी। अगर मोदी भी राज्य का मुख्यमंत्री होता है तो नहीं कर सकता है। जो भारत सरकार के विषय है वो भारत सरकार करेगी, जो राज्य सरकार के विषय होते हैं वो राज्य सरकार करेगी। लेकिन जनता को मूर्ख बनाने की फैशन हो गई है, जनता को अंधेरे में रखकर, इसलिए वो कुछ भी बोलते रहते हैं। दूसरी बात है, मैं चैलेंज करता हूं, कांग्रेस पार्टी कल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके बता दे कि हम 370 वापस लाएंगे, क्योंकि 370 हटने के बाद ये लोग संविधान की इतनी बड़ी बातें करते हैं ना, बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के नाम पर हमको इतनी गालियां देते हैं। हिंदुस्तान में बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का संविधान पूरे देश में लागू नहीं हुआ था। जम्मू कश्मीर में 70 साल तक भारत का संविधान नहीं लगा है। ये हमने आकर के भारत के संविधान, और वहां दलितों को पहली बार आरक्षण मिल रहा है जी। वाल्मीकि समाज वहां रहता है, वहां पहली बार आरक्षण मिल रहा है। ये सब क्या बातें करते हैं जी, और उनकी हिम्मत है क्या? वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके बोले कि हम 370 फिर से वापस लाएंगे। हिम्मत है तो कोई भी दल हिम्मत है तो आ जाए मैदान में।
Let's dive straight into the debate, ladies and gentlemen. कोई भी दल हिम्मत है तो आ जाए मैदान में, 370 वापस हटा देंगे, खुल के आकर बोल दे। Yes, there are some parties within Jammu and Kashmir who are saying this within the Kashmir region specifically, but do they have purchase across the country? Can they even say it out loud? And do they have the backing of the rest of the opposition parties within the INDI alliance itself? Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Lokesh Jindal, political analyst, backs the Congress party with us. Ahmed Ayaz, political analyst with us. Of course, he's from Jammu and Kashmir. And Aarti Tikku Singh also hails from Jammu and Kashmir with us. Namaste. Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much. Let's focus on 370 first up. And then we'll split this conversation in the first half of the right stand towards CAA thereafter. 370 हटाएंगे. Ahmed Ayaz, is this narrative still being used in Jammu and Kashmir? Are some political parties who are talking about Tehreek and telling their cadre you are like Mujahid, are they trying to silently say कि हमको जिताओ, हम 370 वापस ले आएंगे?
जी 370 तो ऑलरेडी हट चुका है, हटाने की बात नहीं है, अब नाउ रेस्टोरेशन की बात है. बट द पॉइंट इज वेदर दैट कुड बी रेस्टोर्ड.
या तो वापस ले आएंगे. That's what I said. 370 वापस ले आएंगे. Restored.
You see, to this extent, Mr. Modi is right that it's as it is. It's very difficult to restore. Why? Because there are three options. One option that the parliament could restore it, which looks to be quite impossible. Why? Because any other political party which needs absolute majority and 2/3 majority, that again is a matter of that's a difficult thing to see. And then second, the BJP has been in a position to project that, though not correct, but they have been in a position to project that Jammu Kashmir has now been inflated with respect to India, with the India. That's the projection they have made in the country. So there won't be any political party in a position tomorrow, even if they are in the full majority, the 2/3 majority, whatever needed. It will be very difficult for them to restore. Why? Because they won't be in a position to tell the people, though no, it has not been integrated, because they can't be in a position to tell to the people, though the Prime Minister itself, the Modi ji itself has, said in a way, projected in a way that though this was already integrated, though this was already access to India, accession was made, but still he has been in a position to project that it has been done something as if it is newly integrated, which has almost been accepted. They have succeeded in doing that. So it will be very difficult for anybody to pick up now and to say that we'll restore it. After to that extent, we need to agree. It is facts or facts. it will be very difficult for anyone. And then the other option could have been the Supreme Court that also has delivered its judgment on the issue. Then these seem to be the majorly two options. Then third could be the movement of the people. That as is, it does not seem that any political party in Jammu and Kashmir would have been in a position to mobilize public to the extent that they would be in a position to mobilize people to demand.
Sir, when they cannot mobilize people to that extent, that means the people themselves don't want it back. So why would any political party try and moot something like that? Okay, Lokesh Jindal, is the Congress party going to go and say this openly? That's what he's dared the Congress party to say. Sit on an open platform and say you will bring back or you will restore 370.
Well, the question is not only about Article 370. The question is about constitutionalism. The question is, what do we uphold? Do we uphold idea of India as a police state, or we uphold the idea of India as the one that's committed to parliamentary democracy, as an idea that is committed to the idea of justice? The state did what it had to, with all the instruments that were available, introducing an ordinance, thereby enabling constitutional provisions. And subsequently we saw for 5 years, Jammu and Kashmir was deprived of representative politics. The people, they were denied political rights, civil rights. I would even go on to say the social and economic rights as well. For 5 years, the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir were unable to exercise franchises. They were unable to exercise the basic rights that the Constitution had entitled them to. The culprit over here is not whether Article 370 ought to be there or not, but it is about giving full-fledged citizenship and treating the people of Jammu and Kashmir as equals. The point is, they are as much Indians as you and me, and their plight must be shared by every Indian together. And there is a need for an empathy from the state as well when we are talking about the rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Lokesh Jindal, may I relieve you of your agony, sir, when you have to try and attempt to defend the indefensible and to project an argument that sounds sane, and when you attempt to confuse and confound, you make a lot of errors. First up, sir, you talked about constitutionalism. The fact that there was one country and two constitutions itself was why the constitution of Bharat. That was the state till the time 370 was abrogated, because Jammu and Kashmir. One minute. One minute.
I cannot
Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir.
371?
No.
What about special
You tell me
provisions that are given
special
in the form of
provisions.
Schedule 5 and Schedule 6?
371 and
What about
372 are
Nagaland?
different.
Do you know?
372 and 371 don't come under the same ambit as 370. When I come about 370,
Sir, you are
Jammu and Kashmir,
misinformed.
following its own courts, following its own constitution, following its own Indian Penal Code, was wide the constitution itself. So let's say that. So there was no constitutionalism for being followed there. First up. Secondly,
Sir,
you talked about the rights of the people and the democratic rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir taken away. Who's the real culprit? See, I didn't interrupt you. I heard you out. I heard you out. Now hear my counter. Now hear my counter. So no, exactly what happened in 1987. The whole problem started in 1987. Who orchestrated the murder of democracy, and a democratically elected leader was denied the position. And what happened in 1987? What happened in 1987 and what was orchestrated by the Congress party? What was orchestrated by the Congress party, Lokesh Jindal? Go back to your history and see who's the real culprit about what happened in Jammu and Kashmir. Who did that? Who did that? So come back. Come back prepared. Come back prepared, Lokesh Jindal. Try to confuse and confound somebody who's not prepared. It's all right. Now, see, the moment you start interrupting me, Lokesh Jindal, I know I've gotten under your skin. So I know I've gotten under your skin. Now you have the patience to listen to me. Do you have the patience to listen to me? You have the patience to listen to me. You have the patience to listen to me, or you don't have the patience to listen to me, Lokesh Jindal?
I don't have patience.
No, you don't have patience. Exactly. So that
I don't have a patience.
But I had,
tolerate
sir.
nonsense.
Sir, at
do you
least
know?
at least
What do
return
you
the
know?
favor. At least return the
I-
favor that I had the
there's no
patience to
favor at
listen
all.
to you.
What
Now,
favor you're
please
talking
don't.
about?
I will have to. I'm saying, allow me to complete. Second point. 1987, the overturning of an elected government. That was the exact point where the entire trouble in Jammu and Kashmir started. Aarti Tikku Singh, correct me if I'm wrong. Thirdly, the Congress party, along with its partners in Jammu and Kashmir, repeatedly sent to the Lok Sabha people who are elected with less than 6% voter turnout. How was that fair to democracy, Aarti Tikku Singh? Lokesh Jindal has just shut off his connection and
Absolutely.
gone away. But point is, when you question them on facts, it hurts people like you.
Absolutely, Anand. You're correct that 87 elections were rigged, and since 1987, for the last 35 years or so, democracy has been a sham, because you're right that lower voter turnout, in fact, was beneficial to National Conference and PDP. They came to power by repeatedly deceiving their own constituents, by repeatedly telling lies about Article 370 for 70 years. They deceived their constituents, telling them that Article 370 was impossible to be abrogated. They repeatedly told lies to their constituents that if Article 370 was removed from Jammu and Kashmir was going to burn. They told, in fact, they threatened the Indian state that there was going to be no one in Jammu and Kashmir to hold and hoist the Indian tricolour in Kashmir. But look, in the last 5 years, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have proven that everything that the National Conference and PDP, the two dynastic parties which held power for the longest time in Jammu and Kashmir, they've been proven completely incorrect and wrong. What is important here today really is what the Prime Minister said, that it was Baba Saheb Ambedkar's constitution which was absent from Jammu and Kashmir for 70 years, and it is, the credit certainly goes to the Modi government for extending, for implementing the Constitution of India drafted and given by the one of the founding members of the Indian Republic, that is Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and extension and implementation of that constitution in J&K is certainly the most significant step, milestone in the history of Jammu and Kashmir.
But
anyone who has a problem with that, in fact, your question to begin with was whether these political parties are still befooling the constituents in Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, they are. They are repeatedly, the dynastic parties of National Conference and PDP are repeatedly telling their people that they will restore Article 370,
they are not only
which
talking,
is impossible.
They are not only, see, what they are doing on ground is dangerous. They are talking about Tehreek. Then this was the conversation that started in 87. Going back to those words, they are talking about somewhere calling their cadre Mujahid. They are also going back. Back and said, talking about this is about our own identity. They're bringing, so this is soft separatism, soft militancy. All of this is part of the lexicon, political
this
lexicon
is not
on
soft
ground.
separatism. It is
Open and brazen. But
you're right.
Let me just bring in Syed Zafar Islam. Syed Zafar Islam. Two things, sir. The Prime Minister says, dare anybody to say that they will restore 370. But the BJP allied with the PDP, which today is advocating restoration of 370. The BJP was part of the government when Jammu and Kashmir hit its nadir. And then even today, the BJP is not contesting elections in Kashmir.
See, Anand, two things. First of all, I must compliment Mr. Ahmed Fayyaz for having accepted the reality and being vocal about it. I think people of Jammu and Kashmir must listen to him, that he is narrating the truth, that it is impossible to reinstate what has already been done. The 370 is a history and it cannot be reinstated. And the fact that he himself said, I'm not saying, he himself said, I'm just quoting him, that no political party, forget about the national or the other regional parties of the rest of the country, but even the party in Jammu and Kashmir, those parties based in Jammu and Kashmir cannot mobilize people's support, because now the beneficiaries are not muftis or Abdullahs or X or Y, but it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So when the people are the beneficiary of all the welfare scheme which has been introduced by the Honorable Prime Minister, obviously they now recognize that they have been cheated, they have been misled, they have been mistreated by those parties who were ruling there for ages. Today they have understood the importance of being integrated with the rest of the India and feel that they are part of a great country where all the welfare scheme which is coming and which is being introduced, they can also be the beneficiary, and the companies and the country is.
Then why is the BJP not contesting Lok Sabha this time, sir?
Enjoy
Why did the BJP back out?
No, see, when BJP is. No, it's not back out. See, there are some strategies I think I should not narrate to you, but BJP has its own strategy for every election, and it is part of the strategy what you can see and what I know. So then partly you can see and partly I know, which I cannot tell you in public, because we have a strategy in place and something which I cannot narrate to you, because it is the leadership which decides what needs to be done. But having said that, we are extremely positive about Jammu and Kashmir. The Honorable Prime Minister has very candidly, the Honorable Home Minister has very candidly, not once, many times spoken that our priority is people of Jammu and Kashmir. Not those 3-4 political parties who have been given a lot of importance by the Congress parties. They used to attend iftar parties and all the other parties at Pakistan embassies, but they never accepted the invitation of the Prime Minister of India during Congress regime. Today, every invitation, if sent by the Honorable Prime Minister, they all will turn up, but they will decline the invitation of Pakistan embassy. So that is the difference today, because people's strength, it is people's strength. What we have done, we have given power to people, we have empowered the people, we have given them what they have right.
Sir,
they were denied those
I was in Srinagar,
by whom?
and I'm going to park it here because we want to move to the CAA aspect. The people on ground are saying, yes, you are trying to do a lot of things, but ये दिलों की दूरी अभी तक मिटी नहीं है. इस दिलों की दूरी पर काम करना जरूरी है. You have to work on it, is what the sentiment on ground is. There are a lot of things that the people, especially the youth of Jammu and Kashmir, have aspirations for. There is a huge drug menace that they want addressed. They want to be more participative and more inclusive as far as sports is concerned. They want the entire education system upturned, because there are people who are graduates today who can't spell the word inclusive properly. So that's the state of affairs which needs to be corrected. So there are miles to go and promises to keep. But yes, largely the sentiment is there's no looking back. It's only about how to go forward, how to move forward. Now, let's move forward here on the right stand too. Syed Zafar Islam, CAA. Mamata Banerjee says she will not implement it. P. Chidambaram says if we come back, we will repeal CAA. PM Modi says, I challenge you to do it.
Anand, see, these are all rhetorics you will hear from the opposition bench. Primarily because they know that they have lost the confidence of the people, and they are just attempting to mislead the people. They also know, as the Honorable Prime Minister has said very, very firmly, that those who know the Constitution, those who know how the framework of a federal cooperative government and the country, they must know that what power rests with the state government, what power rests with the central government. And once it is passed by the parliament and it has become a legislation, it is without exception have to accept every single state, and now with the Jammu and Kashmir as well. So those who are misleading the people that CA can be repealed, it's a distant dream, because they will never come back to the power if they take this kind of stand. Secondly, if Mamata Banerjee is saying that they will not implement, it is only to woo the Muslim vote bank, because she also knows heart to heart that she is only trying to mislead the people, or attempting to
Right.
make a statement even though it is wrong and she knows it. As a chief minister, I'm sure that she knows it, but she feels that Muslim community, if
No, but isn't that also
told to
reflective
them,
of the
perhaps
fact?
they will get support.
No, isn't that also reflective of the fact that the BJP and the government has failed to express what the CA actually intends to do? And as per a recent RTI, sir, so far there has not been a single application under CAA. There's not been a single application under CAA so far, ever since the rules notification, as per a recent RTI. So what is this whole thing about, Sir Ahmed Ayaz? What is this whole hullabaloo about?
True.
Let me just 2 seconds. Anand, 2 seconds. Oh, see, a government job is to create the environment, facilitate through legislation, and encourage to use those legislation to empower the citizen and those who are the victims. And it is not, you should not count the number. It is the platform which has been set up by the government for people who are the victims to
Correct,
at least
but
have
sir, so
the
far,
way
what
the
I am
means.
trying to say is we would like people to avail of this notification and the rules, not that they should.
It will happen.
So far,
I mean,
nobody's done it. But Syed
मेरे
Zafar
भाई अभी तो
Islam,
notification
but
हुआ
मैं
है.
आपसे ये भी तो कह रहा हूँ
See, there are 2
कि it
points.
is also the government's job to also explain and to convince the people why something is being done.
It
Sir,
will
the
happen.
rules notification or the law or the bill saw passage in 2020. The rules notification has happened just days ahead of the Lok Sabha elections in 2024. 4 साल लग गए rule notification करने में because माहौल ही इतना खराब हुआ. That means that the opposition was able to work on the fear and the government was unable to communicate the reality.
Let me respond to this. See, I must have a second. See, you have to also appreciate that we are a sensitive and sincere government. We respect the sentiments of every citizen of this country. If somebody has been misled, it is our duty to correct them. We do not preach what we do not follow and we do not practice. That is why it was important
that means it
that we have convinced every citizen. I can challenge, just a second, I can challenge anybody from my community I'm talking who has been affected by
let Ahmed Ayaz come.
Mislead. That one lawyer can find out one single observation.
It's not about a lawyer, sir. It's about the people's sentiment. It's about the people's sentiment and the fear psychosis that was driven over an act which had got nothing to do, with an Indian citizen. It had nothing to do with an Indian citizen. The other, Lokesh Jindal is not with us here on the right stand. He's dropped out.
No,
we welcome him back anytime. But
Yeah.
Ahmed Ayaz, Syed Asad Abbas with us. Yes, Ahmed Ayazi. Thank you for yielding and allowing Syed Zafar Islam some more time. But go ahead, Ahmed Ayaz.
Yes.
What's the problem with CA?
You see, fact is, as we understand out of CA, is that this is being a communal act in a secular country. This is what we understand as on date, unless the government or the government at the helm if yours clarifies or comes out with something very clear. What is it? We understand that this is an action, this is a law, this is a action government is taking and getting out
let me ask you this.
Getting in non-Muslims to India and not allowing Muslims to come in that way, because it is barred. Muslims are barred to. If any outsider Muslim wants to come into the India, he won't be allowed. So
this is how you have also, as a lawyer and as an educated individual, this is how you have also understood it.
This is what I'm talking to you. This is what, as on today, it is understood as it is.
No. I'm
by
asking
a common man.
That's a common man.
By a common person.
Let me ask you, as a lawyer, as somebody who understands law and who studied the act, what does this act imply? Please tell me.
So the government has not been in a position to explain it as on date.
Government की गलती, government communicate नहीं कर सका, सामान्य जन के बीच में common man के false impression है, समझ गया. I am asking you as a lawyer, आप समझाइए, what is the act?
No, I understand as it is that these Muslims are barred to take
who Muslims, sir? Which Muslims?
Muslims coming from outside.
Non-Indians.
Maybe Pakistan, maybe Bangladesh.
Non-Indians.
Same
who is being okay, let me ask you.
As non-Muslims.
Ahmed Ayaz, please humor me. I'm asking you, who is being given citizenship?
No, non-Muslims are being outside. Non-Muslims are being given.
Are all non-Muslims being given, or under what classification?
And non-Indians,
No.
non-Indians, non-Muslims, non-Muslims, non-Indians are being given.
Who are these
whereas
people?
non-Muslims, non-Indians are
Sir,
not given.
you are a lawyer, so let me ask you this: what does it say? They are who? Persecuted minorities. Correct? Where are they persecuted minorities?
Persecuted can be anywhere.
No.
Muslims can be also
Persecuted.
persecuted
That
in
also the
Pakistan.
Act mentions very clearly. They are persecuted
Persecuted
minorities.
can be in Pakistan also.
No, persecuted.
Muslims can be persecuted even in Pakistan also.
एक minute, sir. They are persecuted minorities in Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan. All of these were influenced because of what? 1947 partition, which was done on religious lines of Hindustan and Pakistan. Correct? Does the Act talk about this or not? As a lawyer, let me ask you: does the Act talk about? No. I am asking you. As a lawyer, does this Act talk about? Does this Act talk about this? Does this Act talk about this or not?
No, it is all political. Anand, it is very clear. It is all political. Why? Because as on today, you won't see people, even non-Muslims, coming to India seeking citizenship under CAA as.
So if it is not making, if it is not, so my point is, you know the Act, you know it does not apply to any Indian Muslim, you know it is not discriminating against any Indian citizen. But what was the narrative that was pushed by the opposition कि हर हिंदुस्तानी मुसलमान का citizenship ले लिया जाएगा? ये यहाँ पे वो था जो वहां पर जो झेल रहे हैं उससे भागकर यहाँ शरण में आए उनको सिटीजनशिप देने की बात हुई थी. Secondly, sir, you are okay. Syed Asad Abbas is here. Syed Asad Abbas, do you know there is something called the Lautenberg-Specter Amendment? What is the Lautenberg-Specter Amendment?
Please enlighten me, sir.
See, you've got a smartphone. You're a smart person. May I please request you, in the next 30 seconds to 1 minute, read about the Lautenberg-Specter Amendment. The Lautenberg Amendment was pushed by a person senator by the name of Frank Lautenberg, who had a Polish-German descent. And he had fled, his parents had fled persecution. And he was perhaps one of the longest serving senators for 28 years in the US. He pushed for a bill and an amendment, a bill, which said that America should give citizenship to persecuted minorities in erstwhile Soviet Union. That included Jews and that included Christians and that also included Baha'i. And in 2004, with the Specter Amendment, the country of Iran was added to it. And they said Christians, Jews and Baha'i from Iran who flee persecution, persecuted religious minorities, will be given American citizenship. And this was hailed by the USCIRF as a landmark legislation that has given citizenship recognition to persecuted minorities. Ab Aarti Tikku Singh, Sada Kutta Kutta, Tuada Kutta Tommy.
Can I make my statement, Anand sir?
Absolutely.
Can I speak?
1 minute.
Absolutely, Anand.
I'll come back to you, Syed.
You're correct. It is absurd for all the panelists who are calling CAA communal, because India is a country which has 220 million Muslims. So for anyone to say that, we are not letting Muslims come in, it is absurd, because during the partition itself, India was founded on pluralistic principles. India rejected the idea of two-nation theory. And therefore, there is no reason for anyone to call CAA, which is meant for persecuted minorities in Pakistan, in Afghanistan and Bangladesh. And we know minorities, Hindus and Sikhs, have been nearly wiped out from these three Islamic republics. And we know that there is no other place in the world for these persecuted minorities where they can go freely
not just that.
And take citizenship. CAA is fundamentally just a fast track for citizenship for these persecuted
track भी super slow
I don't
motion
know
हो गया, ma'am.
with what face these
Aarti ji,
people
that
put a
fast
spin
track
on
today
this.
also.
CAA is fundamentally based on humanitarian grounds.
That fast track is also super slow-mo because it is only till 31st December 2014. These people have to be in Bharat on or before 31st December 2014. Now, in May 2014, already 10 years have passed. So even by the regular citizenship law, they are eligible for citizenship if they have come into Bharat and declared their presence here and sought asylum or sought refuge. These are all people who have declared their presence in Bharat. They have given they got long-term visas and they have registered themselves with the local collectorate. They are not illegals. They are people who have sought refuge in Bharat, Syed Asad Abbas. So here is a difference. If a Muslim is feeling persecuted, if a Muslim is feeling persecuted in the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the Islamic Republic of Bangladesh, then they should not be Islamic republics.
No, allow me to.
No, that's different. No,
Sir, what do you mean that's different? Sir, Hindustan, sir, it was, sir, this country was divided on two lines, only on one line. On one line of religion, because Muslims under Jinnah said that we are different, we are separate and we cannot live with you Hindus. So we need our own land, which is Pakistan, which is only, it was supposed to be Islamistan, they named it Pakistan. And this land remained for Hindus and that's why it was called Hindustan. Okay. So it was done on religious grounds. So those who said that they want their own land and if they are saying they are being persecuted on the land that they wanted, then do away with this partition. Then they should not have broken this country on the lines of religious grounds, saying that I am persecuted in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Hello, I am a Muslim and I am getting persecuted in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Many Muslims.
So give me citizenship. Fantastic. I first want a separate country, then I am persecuted in my own country and I want citizenship in your country. Fantastic.
Can I make my point, Anand?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Anand, I've always believed with great power there's great responsibility and equal accountability. Several lines of the same debate, I have been very vociferous on my opinion, which is CAA is not about taking away citizenship. CAA is about giving citizenship, undoubtedly to the minorities who are persecuted in 3 Islamic countries: Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh. It's a known fact. Also, where my bone of contention is not about, I do not think CA is communal, absolutely not. I see no problem with the CA. I see one problem. Our Indian government speaks of being secular. Why in the constitution, which is secular, why make a rule, a frame which talks about giving citizenship on the basis of religion?
Sir, your argument here is a problem.
Just 5 seconds, Anand.
Okay,
sir,
take it.
5 seconds. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Why give citizenship on the basis of religion? Why does religion become a participle to a state which has no religion but protects the rights of
sir, again, sir, what happens is, sir, when you come, please read your history. The Nehru-Liaquat Pact was not signed by you and me or by the BJP government today. You have to, because sir, you have to care about the constitution. You just quoted the constitution, right? Why do you care about the... No. Why did you... Sir, the CA... Syed Asad Abbas, I don't care about the fact... Sir, Syed Asad Abbas, don't try... Hear me out now, please. The fact is, the genesis of CAA comes from the Nehru-Liaquat Pact, and the Nehru-Liaquat Pact is genesis of it comes from the partition of India on the grounds of religion, Hindustan and Pakistan. And Hindustan was never deemed to be secular. No, 1 minute. Hear me out. You talk about Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. Listen to what he said. He said, Bharat cannot be, our constitution is not secular because the Hindu way of life itself is secular in its place. So no need to word it there in the preamble. No. He was against the word socialist. He was against the word secular. He was
secular. Maybe not to you. But to us,
Syed Asad Abbas. See, I'll tell you, sir, ignorance is bliss. Half-baked knowledge is dangerous, sir. 1 minute. Please hear me out. Please don't crowd the debate. Please don't crowd the debate. The word socialist. Please go and read your history, sir. Please yield. Don't heckle me. Please yield, don't heckle me. Sir, if you come half-read, sir, I'll call you out. The word socialist and secular was inserted forcibly in our constitution when democracy was in jail during the time of emergency. I have the original preamble of the constitution. There is no word socialist or secular. Who changed that constitution?
You are
The
talking
Congress
about
party did. Who did it under duress when there was no parliament in place without parliament sanction? The Congress party did it under the leadership of Indira Gandhi. The biggest fraud with our constitution. And this matter is currently sub judice. The Supreme Court is going to hear this petition filed by Vishnu Jain in July. We'll discuss it then. We'll discuss it then. We're going to take a short break right now. I'm going to thank our guests. We're going to discuss Bengal when we come back. Well tried, Syed Asad Abbas. People, please see the original preamble of the Constitution. We are taking a break, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into Bengal, I'll show that to you here tonight on The Right Stand. Stay